The following program is underwritten by the generous support of Associates of Glens Falls and Loomis and Lipan Insurance. Since 1852, they have been assisting both businesses and individuals across the country secure the most comprehensive insurance products available. Associates of Glens Falls is proud to partner with Central Insurance Companies. Public affairs programming on Look TV is underwritten by the generous support of Pinnell's Restaurant, classic Italian American food since 1922, and Stored Tech, technology solutions for computers, networks, and phone. Stored Tech, your technology, our passion.
1922, Babe Ruth debuts with the Yankees. WGY signs on air. Exterminator wins the Saratoga Cup, and Pinnell's Restaurant opens its doors for the very first time. For 5 generations, Pinnell's has been preparing delicious Italian food, served in a comfortable, home-like setting where everyone is welcome. 90 years of authentic Italian recipes, 90 years of the freshest ingredients, and 90 years of the finest classic Italian dishes, all made daily by hand. Pinnell's Italian Restaurant, a Saratoga dining tradition since 1922.
Most cybersecurity firms deal only with prevention, the systems that block hackers and viruses. Stored Tech knows the root cause is actually good people doing bad things. So we offer a security training program which includes certifying all participants to show they understand the basics.
Technology solutions for computers, networks, and phones. Stored Tech, your technology, our passion.
We are now recording. And so welcome everybody to a Town of Queensbury Town Board meeting. It is February 22nd, 2021. That's 222021, lots of twos. All right, but before I begin the regular agenda, would you all please rise and join Councilman Tim McNulty in saying the Pledge of Allegiance, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you, Tim. All right, we have, 3 items in the Board of Health, and basically the first one is just a continuation. The other 2 are to set public hearings. And so in order to carry on the business, we have to make ourselves into the Queensbury Local Board of Health. So is there a motion to do so? Moved by Councilperson McNulty, seconded by Councilperson Ferone. Ferone and Harrison Freer were a tie. I'll give it to Ferone for this moment. And all those who wish to enter into the Queensbury Local Board of Health, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, it appears unanimous. So we're in the Queensbury Local Board of Health. Would you introduce the first item, please, Caroline?
This is a continuation of a public hearing on sewage disposal variance application of John and Mary Jo Sabia.
All right, well, this is a carry through. They had asked for a sewer disposal variances. And we asked them to come up with a little bit better plan. That the current plan that's on Glen Lake was, we weren't comfortable with it. So let's see what they come back with. The second item on the local Board of Health agenda, please, Caroline.
So we're just going to leave that public hearing open?
Yeah,
John?
we're just going to leave that public hearing open.
Okay.
Unless, well, wait a minute. Is there anybody here that wishes to speak to the Sabia? There's nothing new. Raise your little blue hand or type in a question.
So John, you haven't heard anything from any other agents yet?
No, nothing. All right, no interest in that either. So next item, then 1.2, Caroline, please.
Resolution setting public hearing on sewage disposal variance application of Linda and Raymond Sherbel.
Yes. Linda and Raymond Sherbel, they wish to put 2 holding tanks in, 1,750 gallon tanks each, or a total of 3,500 gallons. Their residence is on 31 Assembly Point. So in order to put a holding tank in, they have to get that variance approved by this town board. So this is to set a public hearing. The public hearing will be May 8th, 2021, 7 p.m. I don't know, you will still be doing Zoom in March, so it'll be a Zoom meeting. All right, so is there a motion to set this public hearing?
I'll move
So
it.
moved.
All right, Harris, Councilperson Freer, seconded by Councilperson Ferone. All those in favor of setting, no, we'll do a roll call vote on this, please. Yep.
Councilpersons Medivir,
Yes.
Freer,
Yes.
Barone,
Yes.
McNulty,
Yes.
Stroud.
Yes. All right, so the public hearing is set on the sewage disposal variance application of Linda and Raymond Cheval of 31 Assembly Point to put in holding tanks for Monday, March 8th. All right, the next item.
John, you said it was the residents. There's no residents there currently. It's a planned house.
Oh, okay, thank you for correcting me. The next item, please, Caroline.
This is a resolution setting public hearing on sewage disposal variance application of 330 Cloverdale Road Trust, Gerald L. Conway Jr. trustee and Jill A. Conway trustee.
All right, well, this is, they want to put in some new tanks, a pump station and a septic tank, and they can't put the tanks in. This is actually 2 residences on 1/10 of an acre. And that kind of bothers me. And they're not proposing to replace the infiltration fields, which they claim is old, but they claim they're working. And one of the infiltration fields appears to be under the driveway. And so it's an older field that's under a driveway. And what happens with traffic flow over that, unless it was designed otherwise, compaction can ruin the system. So I wish that this, on 1/10 of an acre, 2 houses, 7 bedrooms, 4 bedrooms in the main house, and 3 bedrooms in the cottage. I wish they had put up just a comprehensive system where they were replacing the infiltration beds and everything else. This is located on 330 Cloverdale Road, lot 226.12-1-76.
John, is there any indication of how old that field is?
Nothing in the memo. As you remember, this came before us before, and there wasn't any explanation of anything. Tom Jarrett did give an explanation saying that the owners wanted to be proactive and upgrade the tanks. I don't know why they weren't really proactive and upgrade the whole system. But, you know, Victoria did plan a site visit for this.
Mhm.
So we'll do that site visit and then discuss it further. But this is to set the public hearing for March 8th, 7 p.m. 2021, if you're so inclined. So is there a motion to set the public hearing for this sewage disposal variance application for 330 Cloverdale Road?
Motion.
Conway Trusts. All right, moved by Councilperson Freer,
I'll second.
second
it was-
Councilperson Medivir, was it?
Yes.
And a roll call vote on setting this public hearing, please, Caroline.
Who introduced it? I'm sorry, John, I missed that.
Councilperson Freer and seconded by Councilperson Medivir.
Okay. Councilpersons Freer,
Yes.
Barone,
Yes.
McNulty,
Yes.
Stroud,
Yes.
Medivir.
Yes.
All right, so the public hearing is set for March 8th on that. Those are the only items that are listed in the agenda for the Queensbury Local Board of Health. So is there a motion to move out of the Queensbury Local Board of Health? Moved by
moved.
Councilperson Ferone, seconded by
Second.
Councilperson McNulty. All those in favor of moving out of the Queensbury Local Board of Health, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right, we're out of the Queensbury Local Board of Health. The next item are resolutions. We have 6 resolutions because we pulled 3.3, which was, we do propose to amend our dog control law. But it needs a little bit more work. So we're going to work on that. and set a public hearing sometime in the future. So we're pulling that once we have 6 resolutions. Now, I'm going to describe each of the 6 resolutions before the town board tonight. And I'll also give the public an opportunity to speak to any of the resolutions before the town board tonight. If there are members of the public who wish to speak to other issues, because this is only pertains to the resolutions before us tonight. If there are other town issues that you wish to speak to, I'll give you that opportunity at the end of the meeting. But this part of the meeting, again, is just for the resolutions. So resolution 3.1, Caroline, please introduce to the public.
Resolution authorizing cemetery commission's acceptance of 5,000 bequest from the estate of Judge John Austin.
All right, so they are giving a donation of $5,000 to the Cemetery Commission, which was really nice of the John Austin estate. And John Austin, when he passed away June 17, 2019, Joseph Warren passed away on June 17th as well, 2 famous people then. John Austin was 84. Joseph Warren was 34. But John Austin, he did so many things. He served on Warren County Family Court, Surrogate Court, County Court. He was appointed Warren County Historian. He was named Historian Emeritus. He also had some time in the Army. He enlisted in 1958. He served as an infantryman and rocket launcher in West Germany. He later served with the National Guard. He was active in politics. He was the town supervisor, town councilman, county supervisor. He had duties of the Warren County Budget Officers and Social Services Chairperson. He was later appointed law clerk of both the county court and surrogate court. And he gave up private practice to become a full-time law clerk in the Supreme Court. He was appointed by Mario Cuomo to become Warren County Family Court judge, and thereafter was elected 2 successive terms. He was the 4th person to hold that office and served for 15 years. In 1999, he was appointed Warren County judge and surrogate by Governor George Pataki, and thereafter was elected to the position and served until his retirement in 2003. He also started the county's drug treatment court as an alternative to state prison, and the program had an 80% success rate. He considered that one of his big highlights of his life. He worked as an officer and director of many groups, including terms as president of the Warren County Bar Association, Southern Adirondack Library System, Crandall Public Library, Glens Falls, Queensbury Historical Association. And I worked with him on that, and the Warren County Historical Board, I worked with him on that. And he and I, Carolyn Curl and Marilyn Van Dyke, co-authored a book, The 50-Year History of the School System for Queensbury, New York. So I know John Austin, and so his estate is donating $5,000, and it's my excuse to remind everybody what a great man this was. He did so much more than when I've told you. I've been going on all night long. I think you got the idea. John Austin was a great human being. So in any event, this is a resolution accepting the $5,000 bequest from the estate of Judge John Austin. 3.2, please.
Resolution authorizing advertisement for bids for temporary water pipe associated fittings and service connections related to Ridge Road water main rehabilitation and lining project.
All right, so we are going to be doing a major project on Ridge Road. We're going to be lining pipe that breaks quite frequently along. It's a water supply line along Ridge Road, going from Quaker Road all the way over to Cronin. And to bypass that, we have been renting a bypass pipe from other people, but Chris wants to buy his own. So this is the town board's authorization to advertise for bids for a temporary water pipe. And that is, while we're working on the old pipe, putting the new lining in, we need to have another supply line going so that everybody continues getting water. And that's what this will do. He wants to buy pipe for doing that. So this is allowing him to go out to bid. 3.3 has been pulled. 3.4.
Resolution approving year 2020 service award program records for emergency medical squads.
All right, so this town board has reviewed the medical squad. They need to earn at least 50 points through training and active practice and so forth. And we reviewed the hours, time, and the number of points that each has earned to merit 1 year of retirement money. So every year, the current amount is $750. We are allowed to go up to $1,200. We were considering that before COVID hit, but the current amount is $750 a year. So for example, if you spend 10 years of voluntary time earning over 50 points a month, you can get $7,500. The other thing too is where the town board's going to consider the EMS squads have said there are some people who couldn't provide all their 50 points of service because of COVID related blocks. And so if they can tell us how that has affected certain members of this town board is allowed to recompense them. So, but this is for what we won't know right now. 3.5.
Resolution authorizing hiring of Nicholas Lovett as full-time laborer for town water department.
All right, well, 18 months ago, we had a retirement. Vance LaPlante, a good worker, retired, and we haven't replaced him. And Chris is very fussy about who he wants to replace him and have a lot of skill sets. He found one, Nicholas Lovett. And Nicholas is, I guess, pretty impressive. So this is to hire him starting off as a laborer, and I'm sure he'll grow given his skill set if the town board approves this. 3.6.
Resolution authorizing adoption of March 2021 Town of Queensbury COVID-19 Pandemic Response Plan.
All right. So the March plan in general is similar to the February plan, only with the fact that we are going to allow some opening of our buildings. For example, you do not have to make an appointment 24 hours ahead of time. Building and codes does still request appointments. Anything in the assessor's office, request appointments. We prefer appointments, but if you walk in and it's business with the town clerk, we will accommodate you. You do have to come in the northern doors and you have to go through security and you will have to get your temperature measured and you'll have to answer some questions. And if you pass security, then you can go and do whatever business you need to do with the town. So we're more open now than we were. And also Park and Rec and the seniors are planning some activities that will be indoor activities like yoga and other things, exercise programs, but they will be have to be COVID compliant. But again, April looks like we're going to start opening up some of the buildings to the public for public use. And that's all good. And we are all waiting for this thing to get behind us. And in any event, this is the pandemic response plan. The only other thing that's new is I updated the travel plans. So the 10-day waiting period when you get back is not here. It's 3 days. And if you've tested negative. And I'm wondering what they're going to do if you've had your shots and everything. So we haven't heard from the state, but it also says that we have to abide by whatever the state tells us. So if they change things at the state, we'll have to change our policy accordingly. And 3.7, the last resolution before us.
Resolution approving audited bills warrant February 23rd, 2021.
All right, with a run date of February 18th, 2021, and a payment date of February 23rd, 2021, totaling $527,725.69. Those are the resolutions before the town board tonight. Are there any members of the public that wish to speak to any of those resolutions? Please indicate by okay. Just an onlooker for now, thanks. All right. Okay, I don't see any blue hands or anything. All right, town board. Any questions about any of the resolutions or any thoughts you wish to share or any that you would like to have polled for roll call?
John, just to go back to 3.4, we had those emails going back and forth about what the credit that the board, that they wanted to be able to give their volunteers. That's not being addressed in this. This is just to approve the annual program, and then they're going to come back to us. Is that correct?
Yes, we're waiting for some more information.
Okay.
We have asked Penflix some questions. So Penflix is researching this, and we'll have to ask the EMS squads a little bit more information before we can move forward.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Any other thoughts, questions, anything and on the resolutions? All right. I'll entertain a motion to approve resolutions 3.1, 3.2, 3.4, 3.5, 3.6, and 3.7, keeping in mind that we did poll 3.3.
Motion.
Motion to approve those resolutions, Councilperson McNulty, seconded by
I'll second.
Councilperson Freer. A roll call on those resolutions, please, Caroline.
Councilpersons Ferone,
Yes.
McNulty,
Yes.
Stroud,
Yes.
Medivir,
Yes.
and Freer.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Any correspondence, Caroline?
I do have on file the Building and Codes Supervisor's Report for January 2021.
All right, thank you.
That's it.
All right, privilege of the floor. Any member of the public that wish to speak to a town board about a town topic, if this is your opportunity to do so, please indicate by either typing the question in the Q&A or raising your blue hand. All right, no open questions, no blue hands. All right, let's go to town board discussions. Tim McNulty, anything?
Yeah, just one thing. There was a note that you received from a county forum with some questions from a local Ward 4 resident about doing some work on Corinth and West Mountain Road. I'll go talk with her. She'd actually sent that to me, and I guess I didn't respond quick enough, but I'll let her know we looked at it and see if there's anything else we can get from Kirsten. But she had some good ideas, but again, she likes to walk a dog across the street, and sometimes it is tough to walk across Corinth Road. But I'll follow up with her. That's all I got.
All right, thanks. And I did follow up and I did
I saw that.
talk to the county. Okay. Anything else, Tim?
No, thank you.
All right, thank you. Tony?
I have nothing tonight, John. Thank you.
All right, thanks. George?
You're muted.
Muted.
Yeah.
I try to keep it quiet.
I
I was
can
going to
relate.
say, I don't really have anything, but I just wanted to comment, as I've done probably 10 times already, that the new trail, the Halfway Brook Trail, I'm just amazed at how much use that's getting. And I don't see the activity on the other side of the trail, but here along Potter Road, there are cars constantly parked in that lot. People taking advantage of it, either with they're doing cross-country skiing or they've got their cleats on and stuff like that. So, and under the circumstances with COVID, people are looking to do things outside. So it's great it's there, and it's great it's in Ward 3.
Yes, yeah. And people are really enjoying that, and that's exactly why we created it. Well, thanks for bringing that up, George. Anything else?
And that's it.
Harrison?
So John, you sent some lodging data that I found interesting and made a couple comments back on it. It's good to see the county trying to, put stuff out there for people to absorb and to use to make decisions. So that was good. I think it needs a little work, but I'm glad to see them moving in that direction.
Yeah.
You mentioned COVID. Some of you may have seen that Vermont has already announced that if you have your shots, you'll be allowed into Vermont if you can prove that you have your shots without, this harassment of not being able to ski at the Vermont ski area. So I think that starts next week, and a lot more people are getting their shots. So that's all good news to your point that, by the end of March, hopefully we're going to see some, more sunshine on this gloomy, cloudy COVID picture.
Yeah. I mentioned today to the county, the Office for the Aging, that I have heard complaints from people. They use the state to try and make appointments for their COVID shot. And as you know, there's Potsdam, there's Plattsburgh, there's Albany, and they're trying to just get the shot, even if they got to drive 3 hours each way to Potsdam. Well, here's the problem. Things are changing so bad, and they only let you do one at a time. So if you do your husband, for example, by the time you get to you can't get the same day.
Mhm.
And who wants to drive to Potsdam's nice and the drive there is nice. Don't get me wrong. But who wants to drive there 4 times just to get your shot and turn around and come back? So I just asked the Office for the Aging that if, they and I should talk to the state and say, in the questionnaire, are you making an appointment for yourself and your spouse? And then give you the opportunity to make those 2 appointments on that day. So there's some things they could do to improve. I know it's difficult and it's mind-boggling, but the Office for the Aging, said they'll help out those couples that are in that situation to give them a call. All right.
That's good, John, that you did that. I'd like to go back to Harrison. I mean, you mentioned that thing about Vermont allowing, to cross state lines. What I haven't read or heard about is what are they going to use as proof of the fact that you got the vaccine?
It's my understanding.
You get these little cards.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I didn't know if that was an acceptable form of proof. So
I don't think they spelled out. They just said you needed proof.
Okay.
But I think they're given these cards, so it's going to become, the next step in this whole, in my view, is that if you want to travel internationally on a plane, you're going to probably have to have one either to go or come back, one of the others.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just as a note, today is the first day, because I've been looking at the New York site, that Potsdam is actually closed. The only sites open are 2 in the city, and they're only for city residents. So they finally filled all those positions in Potsdam because they've been open for some time.
Yeah, it's frustrating.
Did you see that note, John, on the chat from Maria?
From who?
From Maria Bosford. If you can't, we shouldn't be expecting senior citizens to drive hours in the winter to get their vaccine either.
Well,
Thank you for work on this, and she brings up a great point.
I agree with her too. So senior citizens. I had to drive up to Plattsburgh, my wife and I, and she was the one that arranged it, and we got ours on the same day. And Plattsburgh's not a bad drive. It's an hour and 20 minutes. And when you get up there, it's in the old Air Force Base, and they're very organized. The National Guard's helping out, and they have you go here and here. It's just like clockwork. They're very organized, and get through there, and then you have about 15 minutes. Got the shot, and then they have you wait for 15 minutes just to make sure if you're going to have a reaction that's not good, I guess it's going to occur in the first 15 minutes. So, we were fine. And we wanted to stop by that Chick-fil-A's, everyone's talking about Chick-fil-A there in Plattsburgh. And the bathrooms weren't open. So we went across the street to Panera's and had lunch before we came home. But it worked out okay. And we got to go back up March 8th. And we got a town board meeting on March 8th too. So if I'm not feeling well, Tony may have to take over real quick.
I'm good. I'm ready
All
for
right.
you. John.
I only have one. Did I go through everybody, Harrison? Did everybody? George, everybody? All right. I only have one thing. A resident of Queensbury, a quick thanks to you people for getting that eyesore removed on Bay Road. So it's down. Finally. It only took 20 years. All right, so anything else for the good of the order? All right. Caroline, I want to thank you for participating, and Town Council Bob Hafner, thank you.
Thank you. Yep.
And Town Board and the people present, I want to thank you for attending. And I wish you all the, I hope you don't have to drive. I do. I got to drive home. But I got a 4-wheel drive. I'll drive slow and I'll be all right. The rest of you look like you're already home. Have a good night.
Well, Caroline looks like she's in the office.
Yep. Travel
Drive
safe.
safe.
Caroline's in the office. Well,
Caroline,
I'll
travel.
follow you.
I'll plow her
Follow
home.
me home. Okay.
All right. Okay.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
All right. A motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Motion made by Councilperson McNulty, seconded by Councilperson Ferone. All those in favor of adjourning, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. It's 7:31. All right, guys. I'll see you soon.
Take care.
Yeah.
Night.